remember, when you hear that and you're trying to decide, it's like, what?
What's that shirt you're wearing? Oh, great. Where'd you get that? I thought you might have just made it. Okay. Is the Michael, is the stream up and running yet? Great. Good work, man. I got more of these coming too. I'm just trying to catch up to you.
Folks, if you could check and make sure that your phones are off, we'll be starting in a few moments. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sharon Tice. I'm your practitioner of the day, and this is our pre-service meditation. So if you all could relax into your chairs, keep a soft gaze or keep your eyes closed. Check your body for any areas of tension and focus on relaxing those areas. Focus on deep, even breathing. Feel the energy of Mother Earth coming up through the ground, through the floor, up through your feet, and up through your body, moving up through your body into your crown chakra and out into the universe. As we are aware, July 4th is quickly approaching, and Juneteenth will be this Friday. So today, in honor of those days, we will be looking at peace, freedom, and justice. Hold an image of the ocean and the waves and the tide rolling in over your feet and legs. Feel the coolness of the waves. Feel the freedom of the space around you. Know that you are free to act, speak, and live without external constraint or coercion. You are free to live according to your own values, without hindrance, balanced by the responsibility to respect the rights of others. All people deserve freedom and justice. And so note silently to yourself, I am free. I am valued. We cannot separate peace from freedom, because no one can be at peace unless he or she has freedom. All people are entitled to freedom, to justice. According to Erwin Raphael McManus, there will never be peace on earth until there is peace in us. So let us focus on peace and reside in peace. And as we begin to open our eyes and return to the room, let us remember that peace is not found in having complete control. It's found in trusting Spirit completely. And so let us move forward, believing in peace, freedom, and justice. Namaste.
Hey, hey, I don't want to brag, but I know the president. The CSL board president, I mean. Michael Barnes, everybody.
Greetings and good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Prescott. I'm Michael Barnes, board president, and I have a few announcements for you on what's happening here this week. As you know, our center is alive and flourishing, and this week is a great example. Today after service, grab a bite from our community potluck and join the board back in the sanctuary for a quarterly membership meeting. Our board is prepared to share the details of what has been accomplished since March and to answer questions and hear your feedback on our next steps, changes, and direction for our sacred journey. First, I didn't say this first. How are you today? All right. I think that was robust. All right. And we have a couple new faces I see. Anyhow, before you leave, make sure to browse our books in Sibley Hall that are seeking new homes and take all you want. A love offering would be appreciated to buy new titles, but not necessary. This Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 12:30 is a first session of Reverend Helen and Nancy Kelly's Healing from Disappointment and Betrayal workshop, with the same session being offered on Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 6:30. If you need more details, see it in the flyer or the lobby, or check with either one of them. Thursday, we're having our first newcomer soiree. Although it is designed for the newcomers to begin to know each other, all of our members are invited to bring an appetizer and have some community time together, break bread together. Lastly, next Sunday is Father's Day, and John Haas will be our speaker, and following the service, our hospitality circle is cooking up a meatball and pasta extravaganza. Please contribute by bringing yummy dessert, and let's celebrate this day together. All right. I love you all. Blessings. Have a great service.
Today's spotlight, this person came all the way here, originally from Ireland. So she's a lucky leprechaun and lass. And that is Pam Van Driel. Pam Van Driel has been on our board for 2 years, but she has been a practitioner of science of mind, coming originally from Huntington Beach for over 24 years, where she said both there and here she found a home. She has been a teacher in all levels of science of mind, including training practitioners, which I thought was very impressive. But her main goal in life, she was a financial planner. She has 3 children. Her oldest son has lived in Italy for over 20 years, and her and Howie visited him twice and loved it. Her second son lives in Florida, where she has 2 grandchildren, 9 and 11, both a boy and a girl. And she has a daughter that lives in Orange, California. Some of her passions is she loves dancing, country dancing on Fridays. She met Howie, of all places, the Palace Bar downtown, and they've been together for 26 years. And to me, what her motto is speaks volumes, especially to me, being a healing presence on the planet. So today, I honor one of our pillars and icons that a lot of people don't always see, but it's quiet strength in our center, Pam Van Driel.
It's like the ring
small circus. Speaking of circus, you know what I came up with? My idea today was the candle lighters. They could stand on a tightrope. I don't know why I'm not a millionaire with these ideas. I think this is genius. Oh, hi, I'm Jackson. I'm playing music today with y'all. And look, we have Sky Conwell here playing music as well. Super excited about that. And I usually introduce Bob. That's not. We'll get to that. Helen is here from Hawaii. Aloha, by way of Prescott. So, but anyway, she's great, and we're glad to have her here. You know, I was just thinking, we're about to do an Eddie Watkins song, and Eddie Watkins is, if you don't know, Eddie Watkins is a CSL member. Oh, look, the word's already up there. He's a CSL member originally out of Florida, and he's a mutant. He's played here before a couple times. We've had some fun together. And he's written many CSL songs, including this one. But some people don't know, he's an old Motown guy. He was a Motown session player, and his discography is, well, it's impressive. Includes The Temptations, Gloria Gaynor. It's anyone out of Motown in that era. He played on some of their records and toured with them. Super great guy. Anyway, so this song is called When You Believe, and just like, I have to get the pie, and I changed it. Notice I changed it, because why did I change it? And this is the result of me taking foundations class. So if you've never taken foundations, and you're still trying to figure out what this philosophy is about, I recommend taking foundations. And one of the things you'll start to notice where people push joy and peace and prosperity to the future with words like when and will. Like every little thing is going to be all right. It's not now, but some point in the future. And so I noticed this in Eddie's song, When You Believe. Like, oh, you don't now, but when you do, then it'll be. And I realized Eddie Watkins and Yoda have things in common. Remember, he said Yoda's that guy in Star Wars? He's a little green guy. He's smart or something. Anyway, at some point, Luke Skywalker says to him, I don't believe it. And Yoda says, that is why you failed. Yoda's CSL, I had no idea. We were going to get him here as a guest speaker. Anyway, this song is called When You Believe. I changed it to Because I Believe. And also notice I changed the word you to I, so it's more that you're affirming for yourself. It's easy to affirm for someone else. You know, oh, you'll be fine. So, and I talked Sky into doing this. You got your capo? Bob, this is Bob. He bosses you around, among other things. It's an E flat, buddy. You can clap to this if you want. I don't boss people around myself. Makes it more fun. Here we go.
Oh just, oh, we are. That's what come when we say, I believe in myself. Remember, that's the higher self that is within each and every one of us. That's how come we're able to believe in myself, to believe in yourself, because we're recognizing that God, that presence that is within you. And how wonderful it is to be here. I'm just delighted. I'm going to share with you, it's a great day. Coming over here, I was singing the song, it's a bright, beautiful, sunshiny day, and it is bright. I just love it. Besides Jackson, we have, the fabulous Sky, who is our guest musician, our phenomenal Bob, who does our signing for it, and of course, how could we get along without Mike in our sound booth, keeping us all on track. And so with that, and of course, where is that sunshine coming? Well, for me, I'm just basking in that light and that love that you are all showing and just radiating in every moment, because you are that reflection of the divine. And certainly I see that. But with all of that, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living here in Prescott, Arizona. Whether you're joining us in the sanctuary or you're watching us online, please know that you are entirely welcome here, just the way you are, and just the way you are not, no matter what no matter what's gone on in your lives, no matter where your journey has taken you, no matter what self-judgments you have, and I really stress that word, self-judgment, please know that we here recognize that presence of Spirit, of God, whatever name you give it, that is within each and every one of you. My name is Hazel Bowman, and I am just delighted, as always, to be your service leader today. And joining me on the platform is Sharon Tice. Sharon and I are both religious science practitioners, certified and licensed, which is really just another way of saying that we remember for you until you remember for yourself your magnificence. And there's a number of things sometimes that create obstacles in our knowing our magnificence. And so what I encourage you to do, you'll see in the seat pocket in front of you that there is a Ministry of Prayer card, should be about this color. Go ahead and fill it out, place it in the Ministry of Prayer box, which is right outside our sanctuary, and know that the practitioners will be praying on that for the entire week, knowing that the highest good is always unfolding. You can also meet with practitioners after service, where perhaps you just kind of want to kickstart knowing that truth of what's occurring, the spiritual truth. Come up after service for what we refer to as a 3-minute miracle, so that you can go ahead and claim that for yourself. Please know here at the Center for Spiritual Living, we do provide spiritual tools, which is really spiritual enlightenment in knowing who you are, and we do that through a number of ways, through our workshops and through our classes. You'll see them all out there in the lobby area, all the wonderful things that are coming up. And it's just a way of knowing our path going forward, of how tremendous we truly are. And so with that, I am just glad to have you here joining us. And I am going to ask Sharon then to lead us in that invocation, knowing that presence.
For what I know is that we are all gathered here today at the Center for Spiritual Living in the brotherhood and sisterhood of all. I know that in the midst of us there is Spirit, for Spirit is all there is. In the next couple of weeks, we're looking at Juneteenth, we're looking at the 4th of July. So we're looking at freedom. And what I know is that with Spirit comes freedom, comes joy, love, and all good things. So I know that we are truly blessed. And I release my words unto the law of that one Spirit, knowing that as I do, it is so, and so it is.
speak so many languages, different clothing, different colors, different names. The different is only dangerous when we forget in the heart we're all the same. And the world close our eyes to see that such differences were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels, friends, or heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, it's your sign, it's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth, our Father Time, and it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of love in you and me. One power, one power, one power. One power, one power, one power. We're gonna say that again. One power, one power, one power.
Juneteenth is celebrated on June 19th, and it commemorates the end of slavery in the United States. It's a day to celebrate freedom and justice. And also we have Flag Day, the anniversary of our flag's official adoption. Our flag is red, white, and blue. Red for valor and hardiness, white for purity and innocence, and blue for vigilance, perseverance, and justice. So for today's reading, I've selected some appropriate quotes. According to Coretta Scott King, struggle is a never-ending process. Freedom is never really won. You earn it and you win it in every generation. According to Malcolm X, you cannot separate peace from freedom because no one can be at peace unless we have freedom. And per Barack Obama, change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other times. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We are the change we seek. And from Michelle Obama, the fact is, with every friendship you make and every bond you establish, you are shaping the image of America projected to the rest of the world. And finally, from Martin Luther King Jr., I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. And also from MLK, I say to you today, friends, that even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. Let us take a few moments to reflect upon those words. Now, if I could ask the candle lighters to come up. The Center for Spiritual Living Prescott, guided by the science of mind, acknowledges the diverse faiths and spiritual traditions that enrich our world. Each belief system offers a distinct understanding of the mysteries of existence and a unique connection with the divine. Lighting these candles symbolizes our collective reverence for the diverse paths that humans take in search of meaning and purpose. In this shared moment, we affirm and celebrate the multiplicity of the human experience. And so we light a candle for Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus the Christ, who taught the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within. For Islam and its teaching and belief in the one and only God, creator of the heaven and the earth. For Judaism, a community of shared laws, traditions, and family ties, which began with the covenant between Abraham and God. For Buddhism, the middle path of non-attachment that ends suffering. For Hinduism, the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. For the traditions of the indigenous people everywhere and their close and sacred connections to the earth, sky, and waters. For Baha'i, the path of unity and peace. For the goddess traditions celebrating the power and wisdom of the feminine energies, including nature and nurture. And for the science of mind, a philosophy of life that teaches there is a power for good in the universe, and we can use it. And then if we can say our affirmation, please. I am here for God. My purpose is to express the nature of God as love, abundance, and joy in everything I do. The good I seek for myself is what I desire for my people everywhere. And so it is.
I'd like to play a Led Zeppelin song. This is called Going to California. But it's not a song about just going to California. To me, it's much more than that. It's leaving behind the negativity, leaving behind your self-judgments, leaving behind your baggage and taking a risk and going where Spirit is guiding you. Days with the woman and kind, smoke my stuff and drink all my wine. Made up my mind to make a new start, going to California with an aching in my heart. Someone told me there's a girl out there with love in her eyes and flowers in her hair. Took my chances on a big jet plane. Never let them tell you we're all the same. Sea was red and the sky was gray. I wondered how tomorrow could ever follow today. and it started to tremble and shake as children of the sun began to awake. Look out. Seems that the wrath of the gods got a punch on his nose, started to flow, might be sinking. Throw me a line if I reach it in time. Meet you out there where the path runs straight and high. Find a queen without a king. They say she plays guitar, she cries and sings. La 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 la. Ride a white mare in the footstep of dawn, trying to find a woman who's never, never, never been born. Standing on a mountain, but the mountain of dreams, I'm telling myself it's not as hard as it seems. Here's a part where you guys get to sing. Oh, do it with me. Oh, oh, one more time. Oh.
Guy, thank you. And every time I'm just so impressed with your talent. I didn't know you could do that voice there. That was great. I love it. Ah, you know, earlier today we were singing the song, I Can Make a Miracle. Well, of course, to us, it's not a miracle, it's a normical. However, one of the things that we are always blessed, whether it be a normical or a miracle, is having our phenomenal speaker, Reverend Helen, with us. She comes from Hawaii. We have been delighted in welcoming her many times to this center, and it is my joy to welcome her again, Reverend Helen Downey.
Thank you, Hazel. One world, one peace, one joy. I just think the music this morning was extraordinary, but then haven't we grown accustomed to that? And very grateful. I'll tell you, Sharon gave you just a major preview to what I was going to talk about. So as I'm going along, I may be slicing and dicing. But she did mention, well, we have a lot going on this month, and today is Flag Day. And I'll tell you, when I decide to dive into some of these things and just find out more about them, it's fascinating what you find. And of course, I go down a deep well, and then I say, leave that all alone and just come back to this 5 minutes. So the American flag, well, it's had many inceptions and forms over time. And you know, most of us grew up with the story of Betsy Ross sewing that first flag. I found out recently that there's a lot of controversy around that, and according to what is represented as different areas of investigation through journals and diaries like the Continental Congress and such, they don't see anything about the story where 3 of the founders met with her and asked her to do it and all this. Now, there are family connections and stuff that say there, and even the Library of Congress at one point, unless they've changed it by now, or the Smithsonian, said that they had researched it well before they did the stamp about it, which came out, I think it was in the 70s. But isn't it interesting? Truth always works its way out somehow, even if the truth is we don't really know. And is it okay if we don't really know some things? And is life a little easier when we recognize it's okay not to know some things? I agree wholeheartedly. So Old Glory, as we call the flag that we thought was put together by Betsy Ross, has just become, as we know, it started up, it was in 1777, 249 years ago, at the Second Continental Congress where they passed the first Flag Act. And Sharon told you about the 13 stripes, the 13 stars representing the states, the founding states of our nation. and it was on a blue field. It was also the stripes, let me say, red and white, and she told you of the wonderful traits that those symbolize. It's infused with symbolism, and it was so key given what was going on. This was just a group of radicals that decided we're going to live a different way. We are not going to be subject to the king anymore. We are here. We are in a nation of our own, in a section of our own. We are going to live with freedoms and with agency and decide how we want to lay a foundation for this republic, which would become this vast nation. And it was very dangerous at the time. Any one of them would have been hung if they'd been captured or shot, whatever their preference was in the day. But there's also something that we refer to as the Star-Spangled Banner, calling the flag that, which also prompted the song, was written by Francis Scott Key. But I learned, I didn't know this, that came along a couple of years later, and it had 15 stars and 15 stripes because 2 states were added. Well, then, to do that, they did a second flag convention, and then they decided, okay, we're going to keep adding states. Let's go back to 13 stars for their original flag. 13 stars. Keep the number of stripes for the founding group, but then just add a star for every state that came into it. So here we are now with how many states? 50. What was the last state? Hawaii. And it's very interesting because they did the flag with 50 states, and I read how, after Hawaii joined the Union, well, they didn't join. They were illegally plundered and pillaged and taken over by businessmen, cane sugar, some European, mostly American, who decided there was a boat out in the water. They brought a naval boat in to back them up, and they just seized everything, put the queen in house arrest in her home. And the interesting thing is that the president at that time, and I just lost my little note about Grover Cleveland was the president at that time. Queen Liliuokalani wrote a heartfelt letter to him. She had many communications with him, and she wrote an amazing letter to him about the way everything had gone down. She was a very literate woman, educated, traveled all over the world, a writer of songs, of verse, of poetry, magnificent woman. And she never had children, but she always felt as though her subjects were her children, and she was a benevolent queen. And she laid out the cause for Hawaii. It had been and was recognized by other countries as a sovereign nation. Anyway, ultimately, Grover Cleveland said this wasn't right. We need to stop this process, turn back this process of annexation. Well, who knows what went down, but he kept dragging his feet, and before you knew it, he was out of office, and then Woodrow Wilson came in. No, he was later. Excuse me. Harry Truman. No, I'm on the flag thing still. With Hawaii, the next president, and I think it was McKinley, he agreed with the takeover. So that's when it was a hostile takeover, but the queen did not fight because she wanted to spare her people. And conditionally, she was certain that once she wrote this letter and communicated it, stitched up with the president, that he would see the errors of that and correct it. Unfortunately, that's not the way it went. But here it's been a long time, and we have not added another state, so we're still hanging on to those. Well, we haven't added Canada or Greenland or anything yet, right? Anyway, okay, just checking. Anyway, my question about this morning was, has the flag, our precious flag, which has become the most precious symbol in our nation, and it is used to commemorate veterans, all sorts of holidays, celebrations of life. The flag it's part of who every single one of us are. And we grew up saying that Pledge of Allegiance and moving through that. And I will say, taking our freedoms for granted, would you say that was a reasonable statement? Okay. Has the flag really kept the promises. And really, it's not the flag that keeps the promises, but have the people, have our electorate, have those that we've entrusted with our ways, and have we as individuals been active in keeping those promises so they're available to every one of our citizens, everyone that lives in our magnificent nation? Or have we slid a little bit? We have slid. I heard it. I heard it out there. Well, this month is also, well, I'm in my notes, I said, many people may have different opinions on that, but for me, it's a hard no. We have not held all those promises and made them true for the massive members in our population. So, this month also brings us special days, which Sharon also mentioned, and they actually commemorate the groups or events involving the groups that are two groups that massively has been abused and not given the rights and freedoms needed. And by the way, there are many, many, many. But we're talking about Juneteenth, which is June 19th, which comes along this Friday. And that was the day that enslaved Black Americans in Texas were finally freed 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. Well, it was Texas, right? Why should we do it if no one can ride far enough to get to us and tell us to do it? So, what was his name? A Union Major General Granger arrived in Galveston and informed everyone there that all enslaved people were free. And so that is officially thought of as the end of slavery. And we all know that even that, slavery has taken different forms, inequity has taken different forms. But in terms of the slavery trade in our nation, that is the official day, and it's worth a major celebration. It did mark the effective end of that slavery in the U.S., and I said, technically. So also, June is Pride Month, and it is National Pride Month. And it commemorates a series of events, of riots, of standing up for themselves by people in New York City in June of 1969, year of my daughter's birth. And it was known as Stonewall riots. And most people that are aware of anything in that community know about Stonewall or have heard of it. And it was in gay or trans nightclubs, perhaps, and some of those the way they went, but they were tired of, at any time, having police officials, government officials, come in and beat them and arrest them and prosecute them. And so these riots were finally a way of saying, we're done with this. We have rights too. We live here too. And I would say that flag represents them too. So they marked, technically, Stonewall, even though there were events prior to that, that effectively was marked as the big change, a new beginning for the gay rights movement, not just in the United States, but also around the world. Now, of course, there are other groups like women, non-white people, immigrants. You can name dozens of them. And sometimes they rotate. You know, we have a target for a decade, and then we get legislation, and it goes through, and then I always say there's like a template. And then they just take out whatever it is they don't like and put in the new one and say, they're destroying our families, they're ruining our nation, da-da-da-da. But at least we do something, and our progress does show, even though when we slide back sometimes. But essentially, I have faith in this nation, and I won't just say citizens, this nation and the people within this nation, to want to do the right thing. Don't we all want to live happy lives? Don't we all want to live freedom with choice over our bodies, our lives, our friends, our faith, or our no faith? Don't we want that freedom? So that's what I want to say that flag stands for. Okay? Thank you. I just have to bounce back on the gay thing for a minute. I have been an advocate. My son is 60, and he came out to me at 16. So I know I had him when I was 11. And so it was a shock because I was very naive. Fortunately, I wasn't raised in an extreme philosophy about the hatred and all the things that go down. But knowing some of that existed, first off, I just went, I have to educate myself. So that was my first thing. But underneath that was my concern, would he have a good life? Would he ever have love? Would I ever have grandchildren? Sorry, that always sneaks in there. But I have to tell you that I went back to school in my mid-40s, and a few years during that period in classes, I just got more vocal, and I learned that if you have a belief system, it's important to share it. I'm not a shouter, but I would listen to a lot of shouting, and I thought, okay, no, I need to at least introduce a new idea. But my concept was always, he was still the same amazing, handsome, intelligent, compassionate, creative young man he was the day before he told me, that same person after he told me. And that is true for everyone, in my humble opinion. Wow, I never got mid-talk applause before. Thank you. And so I just have to tell you the one little fun thing is I wondered, and in Maui, I just became more of an advocate. I went to my first Pride parade, and then first the one I went to, actually I wound up in San Francisco with friends from Maui on my way to Asilomar for a conference. We stopped in San Francisco first. Mind you, I'm still pretty naive. So the first parade I was ever exposed to was San Francisco Gay Pride. And right in the beginning, and you know, they had the dykes on bikes. And along some of them came, and one woman on that bike was topless, and she apparently had had a breast surgery. There was a breast removed, and one really long breast. But I mean, it was, and I was like this. But it was so magnificent. It was so extraordinary. It was such a celebration of life and color and feathers and sparkles and spangles and joy. So through the years, I had wondered, and strangely, I'd never really looked it up until this week. I thought, I wonder when the word gay became associated with the gay movement, with the homosexual movement, the sexual, what's the term they use? Other sexual, thank you. I wasn't going to say choices, thank you. I just went out on the word. Anyway, and back then, and this is when I was still in Maui, I used to say, my thought is just because they know how to throw a damn good party and have a lot of fun. And underneath that is, you need to create those opportunities for yourself and with your chosen family when the world is mistreating you terribly. But anyway, I did look it up just out of curiosity, and the word gay goes way, way back. We all know it means like joy and happiness and kind of feisty, I would say now, carefree. And actually during the mid-'60s, with all the demonstrations that rolled along, I'd say after Stonewall, these things began to change and legislation began to change. And now we have a Pride Month celebration, and Gay Pride is celebrated all around the world. And it always touches me when, whether it's an African nation or a nation in the Middle East, where, you know, there are places where it's punishable by death. And yet, life supports life. You are who you are, you know who you are, you find who you need to know. And they will, I was shocked when I would see like gay pride parades in these states where I'd think, oh my gosh, how did they make it through? But it's beautiful. In my book, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's fabulous. So, anyway, and this is a kind of newer one because it's got the different colors, which I think, you know, it's for the racial identities and everything else, and trans, and it's just, people are people. I loved the song. I always love the songs, but the one about One World, I mean, it's just so true. We all want the same things. We're all the same inside. And we're 99.99% the same. We have that 0.1% that's different with our color, with our size, with our eye color, with our sexual orientation, with our wit or lack of wit, whatever it is there. Just that little piece. So why in the world, when we all live on this planet, Aren't we all more brothers and sisters and best friends and working together for progress instead of to make us feel better, try to make someone else feel they're not worth anything? That doesn't work in my book. Okay. I'm going to share something with you quickly that is personal. And I struggled with the thought of this talk because I'm not happy with the state we're in our nation right now. I do my best. I do what I can do. I have signs, flags. This pin, and Hazel has one, they're almost like twinsies. It was my mom's pin. My mom's been dead since 77. So anyway, the flag means a lot to me. But when I would wear this flag, when I pulled it back out, I happened to bring it with me when I traveled here, I wear it upside down because I understand that that means distress. And I had a friend on the phone, and when I told her about that, she goes, well, what if people get upset? What if they think it's disrespectful? I go, my father was in World War I and II. He lied. All I knew, he never said anything about the wars. All I knew was he lied about his age. He told me this so he could enlist in World War I. Well, he was born in 1903. So, and I did see documentation. I did see his war record. And so he said he was born in 1901. And I thought through the years, you know, my dad was a storyteller. And I thought, maybe, blah, blah, blah. But I want you to know, several years ago, I saw a documentary on the History Channel or PBS, a marvelous channel, called The Boys of World War I. Now, I never watch anything war-related. If people are yelling at each other, slicing and dicing, I don't want to be scared. I had a stalker in my life for 15 years. I don't need anybody to scare me. I don't like surprises like, you know, out of a closet. Out of a closet, that's a good one for today. Anyway, so, okay. Thank you. So I watched The Boys of World War I, and it was true. They had legions of young boys coming off farms from all over the nation. My dad came out on a farm in San Bernardino, and they said, and they had like, I think, if they looked reasonably healthy and something said they were a certain age, which might have only been 14 or 15 at the time, they took them. They needed them. But in this program, it also showed by the time someone would reach maybe 14, they were commanding tanks. And you'd see pictures, and they had live, you know, had been recorded. They had live talk from some of the elders that had been one of those boys in World War II. But I went, okay, Dad, I'm really sorry. You did tell me. But also, he enlisted in World War II, as did my older brother, and we're in the Philippines. And so the flag means a lot to me. Also, my mother passed on the 4th of July a long time ago. But it's really special. And I don't really ever get sad on the 4th because I always say, see there, Mom? Her and Dad were kind of competitive. I always say, see, tell Dad, you got the fireworks. So for me, it's a celebration of her. But I decided, after also listening to Michael Beckwith, a wonderful minister, tape recently of one of his talks, and he's very evangelical in his approach, but he's a Science of Mind minister. And he basically, the whole thing was about filling up with knowing that you're just all God. And no matter what things look like out there, we have the power to change it. And always my underlying thing, it's all working out for the good. So I trust that. But this just bounced me up further and further. So today I wore my flag correctly, upright, because that's a symbol of, even if we're struggling right now, this is our flag. This is our nation. This is our love and light and truth and divine wisdom and guidance that's going to set things straight. And we're going to make all the changes we need to make because we were not perfect, right? We aren't perfect as people. We weren't perfect as a nation. But we're seeing ways to be perfecter right now. And that is my vision because that's what we do. We see it and we speak it until we make it happen in the outer world. So I want to thank you, and I want to see if anyone else, hold on. Oh, one global family growing together, respecting the interconnectedness of all life. And what did one of our songs repeat us of that perfectly? And also, I looked up lofty, because this is about Ernest Holmes. He has a lot to say on freedom. And I guess I'll have to do that when I speak before the 4th of July. But a lofty vision, and I looked up lofty because that's the word that came into my head, and it says, one that is highly elevated, noble, and inspiring, driven by strong ideals rather than immediate practical realities. Can we be lofty in our ideals and our vision and our manifestation? Okay, we are ready to follow through with one of the points here with CSL, Center for Spiritual Living's global vision, to create a world that works for everyone. And I want to ask, are you willing to join me in that? You are here in CSL. Do you embrace that? Let's do it. And so it is. Thank you. Oh, thank you. And it is. Before the song, right? Or after the song? To anchor it in prayer.
Thank you so much, Reverend Helen. Just always a delight to have you here. And I'll keep my little story short because she was talking about veterans. Years ago, I had the pleasure of talking with a veteran from World War II. And what he shared with me, which was just great because it always makes me smile and giggle, is that he was stationed overseas in Europe, and part of his responsibilities was making sure that no spies got on the base. And he told me that this was extremely difficult for him and his buddy because these were highly trained German spies. He said if you asked them a question, if they said that they came from Cincinnati, you could ask them a question. They knew how many people lived in Cincinnati. They knew the surrounding suburbs. They could even give you the name of their favorite restaurant to go to. He said their papers were brilliant forgeries. And he said their clothes, the uniform, had the USA labels on it. And he said so it was so difficult to try and figure out which ones were the German spies until he and his buddy came up with one question that tripped him up every single time, which was, what is the 4th verse of the Star-Spangled Banner? And he said these highly trained German spies, they knew it. They could tell you it. He said, whereas an American would go, there's 4? We had no idea. But, with that, Jackson, glad you're back up here on the keyboard. Let's get people to rise and let's sing a wonderful song here, cementing Reverend Helen's message.
And it is from our founder of Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes. It's actually a poem written in 1957 for Science of Mind magazine. Strong, I'm going to try to get through it. Strong sons of freedom's blessed land, on hill and plain we take our stand. In one accord our voices raise, in one accord we sing thy praise. Blessed land that truth and freedom share, thy sons and daughters strong and fair shall keep thy altars burning bright with freedom's holy light. No iron fist, no tyrant's hand can mar the beauty of our land. No despot's might shall ever stay, or justice, truth, and right betray. O thou who lights the heavenly dome, sustain and bless our native home. And may thy flag of truth unfurled bring peace to all the world.
And so it is. Thank you, Reverend Helen.
Thank you.
Your presence is always a blessing to us. And so with that, I would now like to invite the ushers to step forward. For this is our opportunity in giving generously that which is within us, not only our talents and our gifts, but also our monetary contributions that continue to support this center. And then in the law of circulation, those donations that you give not only bless this center, but they go out, blessing our community that we live in, as well as around the world. And so even though we may not always see that effect, I can assure you it's great. So let us right now, let us say our dedication, if you can just hold for one moment here, and let us say, take your love offering, whatever it is. I always encourage you to place it over your heart, for you are the heartbeat of this center, and you are the heartbeat of the divine. And so let us say it together, divine love, in and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, life. And thank you, and Sky, if you will.
Jackson, you gonna join me? When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on you, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear, and there is no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet. I can never do you no wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met. No doubt in my mind where you belong. I'd go hungry, I'd go black and blue, I'd go crawling down the avenue. There is nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. Play something pretty, Jackson. Storms are raging on the rolling sea, on the highway of regret. winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. I can make you happy, make your dreams come true. There is nothing that I wouldn't do. I'd go to the ends of this earth for you, to make you feel my love.
Thank you so much, Sky. And now I ask that the offerings should please be brought forward for the general blessing. For I know that these offerings reflect the generosity of each and every person, the generosity that reflects the love, the beauty, and the joy that is within each of them, that they have for this center, and that they have for this world at large. They truly are, each and every gift, the gift of themselves to us. And so with that, I bless this money. I know it is already going forward and doing all the good works that is necessary, that we enjoy doing and supporting one another. And so with it, I call it good and very good, and so it is. I just wanted to mention, Reverend Helen reminded me that if you enjoyed that prayer poem that she read at the very end here, that you have copies of it outside the door. So if you like, please take one and take it home with you. And so with that, right now, what I'd love to do, Jackson, is let's welcome our visitors.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Who's here for the very first time? Or maybe you've been away for a while and you would like to reintroduce yourself. Oh, there we go. Laura, could you do me a favor and take this microphone and have the handsome gentleman there?
Hello, I'm Daniel. I'm a practitioner from Scottsdale Centers for Spiritual Living. My family and I are going to be relocating up here. We're getting out of the rat race down there. So if anybody knows some rental homes that we might be able to look at, please let us know. But yeah, and love the community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Laura. And I was excited when I met Daniel earlier. He's a practitioner. So won't that be awesome to introduce him to his new spiritual family that's here in Prescott. And so with that, I think we're ready to close out, aren't we, Jackson?
We are.
Okay, well then let's all stand and let us say our benediction together, if I may. And that is, you'll see it up here on the screen. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is happening through my mind, my body, and my affairs. I think it, I believe it, I feel it, I know it, and I accept it. Thank you, life. And if you're comfortable, please join hands as we sing out the peace song.